All right, Gemini, welcome in. Welcome in. You would typically be the last sign I post for mid July, but I wanted to say to you that there's a lot going on in your sign. And I don't know if your sun, moon, rising, or Venus, Gemini, or if you just have a lot of planets in Gemini, or if you're just attracted here by the title. That's possible too. I'm starting to see how these things all sort of weave together. So we have a lot going on in your sign, like I said, and Jupiter begins its setup phase for its retrograde period, which isn't happening until October. But today on July 15th, Jupiter's starting to slow down. Okay, so Jupiter in your sign of Gemini. We also have Mercury starting its shadow phase. That's the setup phase, same thing, today. So I wanted to do that. Mercury is your ruling planet. So let's see where we go for you. Higher power, for sure. There just feels like a lot of unsettled energy here. And I wanted to kind of, oh, look at you. Message in a bottle. I want to kind of work it out in a reading and see what I can get for you right now. Not for you. Something is not for you. Come to the edge. A lot of July and August, especially, we have the retrogrades really anchoring in right now. We can talk about that. We'll talk more about that. But what I want to say to you is that you have some message to impart. What's being asked of you is to focus inward. Don't get twisted up in the up and down energy of the world right now. Focus inward. You are a messenger, okay, from the higher power. You have something to impart, some story to tell. That is your mission as identifying as a Gemini. That is your mission, one of your missions anyway. And there's something coming through here that's not for you that I will explore. It's almost like, how uncomfortable are you willing to be for change to happen, for real change to happen? So if you're in a part of your life that you're like, this isn't working for me, but I'm afraid to kind of step into anything that is uncomfortable, because then maybe that's going to be worse. And I just don't know. There's something here about you being a trailblazer or a leader in some kind of path that shows other people it's possible. Okay, that shows other people, look, you can do this. You can make change in your life. You can do it. You can go through these periods and you will move forward, right? Some uncomfortableness is necessary for you to step really into your power. And I feel like you're the bearer of that message. You're the one who's going to be communicating. That might only be one of the messages you're communicating, because you are ruled by Mercury. And with retrogrades happening, like I said, Jupiter in the setup phase of its retrograde in Gemini, and then Mercury going retrograde. Mercury's in Virgo. So there's something here about the details of this message, and it's coming from inside you, your own experience and your connection to spirit. So let me continue on with this reading. I'm just feeling this real rush of like, just take a deep breath. Okay, take a deep breath. 3 of Cups underneath. Here's the Virgo energy of the Hermit. The 4 of Pentacles, right? This is about going inward. 4 of Swords and the 3 of Pentacles. You're going to have something to bring to the world. It's got to come through you first, though. It can't just be something that you just deliver now. There's more setup phase that's necessary. I feel like you're almost turning your back on either conventional society, or turning your back on celebrations, or, partying or something like that. Like, you're turning your back on that to go inside. And at the end of the day here, this feels like a month, maybe into August, definitely into September. So this time of mid-July moving into August, you're going to be set up to deliver this message this fall. Okay, you're going to be setting up to deliver some kind of message. Jupiter going retrograde in Gemini is about the message coming from inside. Retrograde, internal, going inward. Okay. So, and Virgo is here. And so there's some kind of like healthier process, whatever you're doing now in your life that's kind of I just heard dodging a bullet. Whatever by doing this you're dodging some kind of bullet. Okay. Um Dodging some kind of external force, right? Some kind of external force. And you may not see that right now. You may not feel, you'd be like, why is this happening? Why can't, this is the height of the summer in the Northern Hemisphere. I should be out partying. I should be out having fun. And the universe is saying, no, you have a bigger mission here. You have something to deliver to the rest of humanity that is going to be important. And it's going to be about what will get you there is healthier habits, moving on from any kind of habits that you feel are kind of blocking your intuition or not serving a deeper, bigger purpose. Some of you need some protection. Some of you are around people that are pulling at you energetically, and it's really time to just be with yourself, kind of a thing here. Here you go. 9 of Cups. Oh, yeah. Devil energy. 5 of Wands. Like it seems like it's fun right now, or it seems like, partying and hanging out and everything like that seems like fun, or this relationship doesn't seem like it's not for your best and highest good. It just seems lighter, less worrisome, and all of that. But soon there will be some kind of chaos. We are seeing a little bit of that already in the world. There's some kind of chaotic energy that's going to express itself over the next couple of months. And you really have to be grounded for it. You really, this week in my Pathfinder group, we're talking about intuition in 2024. So every single episode, every single Wednesday, we talk about different topics around intuition. And one of the things I want to talk about this week is how your wounds are one of the biggest things that are blocking your intuition, because your wounds create coping mechanisms if you don't adequately work with them. And then what that means is a coping mechanism is something that is kind of a workaround. It's not really any kind of healing. It's just like, okay, I really need to change these sheets, but since no one's sleeping in this bed tonight, I'm just going to make the bed and it's going to look fine. And then extra guests show up and you're like, oh God, I've got to go and take care of those sheets before they sleep in it. So it's giving you like a lot of work, and it feels unnecessary. If I had just dealt with it at the moment in time that it was coming up, I wouldn't have to scramble right now. I wouldn't have to scramble. And your job is to really be anchored, okay? The higher power, your connection, God, spirit, whoever you pray to, whatever you pray to, whatever energetic experience you are plugged into, the universal heart consciousness. I've been talking a lot about that this week. There's something here about you really needing to be grounded in that, because there is this kind of energy of a storm. 4 of Wands, Chariot, and the 2 of Swords. Look at this. 7 of Wands, 2 of Cups, 3 of Swords. What is this? It's like falling off the table here. I feel like you're connected to somebody or some experience right now. This is where you thought you were going. This is where you thought things were going. Not necessarily because they're good. I mean, 9 of Cups and 4 of Wands is kind of happy energy. Chariot is about victory. This devil energy, okay, so Capricorn, we do have Pluto retrograding. I believe it is 1 degree Aquarius still. It was going to go into Capricorn, not until September. You're getting a warning here, a little bit of a, hey, heads up. I'm getting the grasshopper and the ant. And the ant spends all summer putting away food, and the grasshopper's playing and not paying attention. And it's so it's time to like pay attention to the grasshopper. Or sorry, to the ant. I feel like there is, on a lighter note, I feel like there is some kind of love relationship or some kind of desired experience in a love relationship that is showing you your wounds, showing you about what you need to be working on. So it's being reflected to you in the relationships you're having in the world. So what is going on for you in the world? What are you experiencing? And are you experiencing, kind of like weird things happening? Because I definitely feel that, and I'm a Gemini moon. I definitely feel like there have been someone you think is like trustworthy. All of a sudden you see it, you're energetically plugged into the fact that, oh, wait a second, they're not. Oh, wait a second, this isn't exactly how I'm seeing this is not the reality of the situation. So there can be this kind of what you see is not what you get. What you think you're creating, if you are kind of blocking your intuition and doing it based on a coping mechanism, like this is how I feel safe. So I'm going to do this coping mechanism, even though it's unhealthy for me. It's just a workaround. It's not healed. Okay. There's something not healed. Why is this devil card showing up? There's something not healed that you think is healing, or you think you've done the work of healing, but really it's just like you've wallpapered over some cockroaches here. And it's time to stop any kind of habits that are just coping mechanisms. Okay. Judgment, 7 of Cups, Knight of Wands. You are at the forefront, 8 of Swords, of delivering some kind of story around this, some kind of path. Okay. And those of us who are trailblazers or who are leaders, you've got a machete through the jungle so you can make a path so other people can follow you. And this is coming from a place in your own life where you have wallpapered over some cockroaches. It's going to show up again. We have Saturn in retrograde and Neptune in retrograde. So any kind of illusions, and this is all in Pisces. So this is very spiritual, mystical. And it's going to show up mystically to you, kind of through dreams. Okay. Mystical with this sun? No. 7 of Cups, this Knight of Wands. I really want to go deeper into the Knight of Wands there, because I feel like it's almost like someone's going to show up as this Chariot, but you're really going to see. You're going to see this time. And it's going to be like, oh, wow. That's how you know you're healing. That's how you know you're channeling. That's how you know you're getting to the other side of this coping mechanism that has really been blocking true happiness. It's like it looks good on paper. Okay, but then you're like, oh, wow, wait a second. This person is really the Knight of Wands. They're not this Chariot energy. They're not who I thought they were. So this can be showing up in all different parts of your life, like a colleague at work that you think is like, super fun and kind of down to earth and hasn't really triggered your spidey senses. All of a sudden, it is going to trigger that. It shows to me. I'm sorry. There's too much coming through here. It's all of a sudden going to show you that you're deepening your connection to spirit. Because what you thought was okay and no big deal, you're going to be like, wait a second, that's not really okay. That's not really healthy for me. Or this person is not trustworthy. It's like the mask is coming off. And you have to be really anchored in your intuitive, spidey senses, your connection to spirit. And this message that's coming through to you is like, hey, this is what you've been manifesting. This is what you've been wanting. And all of a sudden the mask is going to come off and you're going to go, whoa, I really wasn't seeing this person clearly, or I was sort of trusting this person in my life, or trusting this situation. On its face, it looked fine. And it's like, it looks good on paper. You might have heard yourself even say that, which is funny because Gemini is all about Words matter, right? Communications matter. You could be getting triggered by someone communicating something in kind of a joking way, and you're like, that's not a joke. I mean, jokes are all founded, based in the truth fundamentally. But if you kind of really looked closely at it, you'd be like, that was kind of a slap. That was kind of a backhanded thing to say. That was kind of an odd thing to do. So I want you to really be grounded in your reality right now. The winds of change are starting to really blow. And this is about seeing things more clearly. And Gemini, I feel like you're really leading this charge. We have a lot going on. I'll talk more about this. We have a lot going on in Gemini in this summer. So I'll get to that. I'll get to that. But let me see about this 2 of Swords and 3 of Swords. It's like all of a sudden you say no to something that you've been manifesting. And it's like, wait a second. All of a sudden I'm saying no to this? Empress, Divine Feminine, Strength, 8 of Wands, and the 6 of Wands. All of a sudden, the only thing you have to go on is yourself. You cannot, like maybe there was a friend, a casual acquaintance, not somebody like a dear friend from years and years, but all of a sudden, there's a mask comes off. Somebody at work, all of a sudden, they kind of stab you in the back. All of a sudden, there's a little snide comment or something like that. And I feel like, Gemini, this is really important for you to pay attention to. It really is, because you're being set up here to be in power. You're being set up to be a leader. This is not punishment at all. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's quite the opposite. This is the universe saying, okay, I'm going to show you that your intuition, how your intuition works, how it really works, and how it's connected to meditation and prayer and protecting your energy, and getting rid of any kind of bad habits that might be clouding your judgment right now. It's almost like we can't afford that right now. Okay, so I'm going to go deeper. I will talk more about the astrology, and I will go into this reading. And let's look at what you don't see coming, even from this place of more depth of awareness, even from that. And I feel like Chariot here, this is Cancer energy. We're moving out of Cancer this week and into Leo. So there's a big shift here in this energy, and we'll talk more about that. All right, Gemini, if this is your reading, there's a link below, and I will go deeper. I'll see you over there. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.